For today's hike, we hiked between 5 cenotes at Kantunchi. They have a cave that you can also go to, but we were too cheap to do that. We'd gone to an underground river and cave a couple days before, so on this day, we're just going to enjoy the cenotes and swimming. You can go to the series of 5 cenotes for about $25, an average of about $5 each. The cave would have been an additional, I think it was $32. So we headed out, and this was the first cenote, and when we got there, there were a couple people there. So we quickly moved on to the second cenote. Okay, Kelly.
Tell me to suck my gut in.
Suck your gut in. Where are we at?
We are at Kantunchi Eco Park. We are at the first cenote. There's 5 cenotes in this Eco Park, and I'm not sure if this is the Kantunchi cenote, which is the namesake for this place. And I'd like to point out a wasp nest on the top of the cenote. Very cool. And then, yeah, just spectacular.
I guess I should get me in it too.
Yeah, Dad, you
This
gotta
is
get
me.
yourself in it.
Looking at the cenote. We left the first cenote, passing iguanas on the trail as we headed toward the second cenote. We're hiking to a cenote number 2. Through the jungle.
This cenote is Exalha.
The water's just crystal clear and spectacular looking in all the cenotes. And we saw a couple bats fly through this one. Just an amazing place. A Mexican spiny-tailed iguana, Tenosaur similis, are found throughout this region. This was the next cenote, an open cenote, not covered and in a cave like the last couple. The signs direct you to each of the cenotes, and going to 4 and 5, you got a long walk down that railroad track. But they're spectacular. I believe this is 4. We were required to wear the life vest, and we brought our own snorkel gear so that we could swim through the cenotes. In addition to the iguanas, we also saw a number of brown basilisk. Cool to see, especially if you see them run across the water. As you walk between the cenotes, you need to keep an eye out. Kelly observed a boa constrictor and another snake. Unfortunately, they were too quick and took off before I was able to get a picture of them. But you can't miss the iguanas and basilisks. And this is a closed cenote inside a cave, and just a spectacular place. And this was number 5. It's an open cenote. Kind of went around an island, and they had that walkway out to the island. Very cool. I try to take a picture of the cenote so you can see it before I go in swimming, because all these videos are with my cell phone. But before long I get in, and the one Perhaps the best way to get in is to jump in. Of course, that's what we do, and if one of us does it, the other has to do it. So, I'm sure pretty quick you'll see a video of that. But first, another iguana. You can get a tour to the cenotes from many of the hotels, and it seems like while we're there, a bus will pull up and a group of people will get off. And so you'll have periods of time when the cenote's full of people, and then they get about 10 minutes each, and then they're gone, and then we have the cenote back to ourselves. So at times there are a bunch of people here, but you'll see in most of these videos, we don't show anyone. We're the only ones there, able to enjoy it in our own time. And this was as we were walking between cenotes, came across a large group of butterflies. Kind of cool to see. There they are all flying around. More basilisk, of course more iguanas. And you'd think I'd get tired of taking pictures of these iguanas, but they're just pretty cool. I guess it's not as bad as when I was at the Galapagos and there's a million marine iguanas. But there were a lot of these similis running around. So I took lots of pictures of them. You always think the next one's going to be the better video or the better picture. So I keep trying. If people showed up to the cenote we were at, we'd go back to another cenote and just enjoy the waterfall. This is Kelly jumping off the little cliff into the cenote. It's kind of what we do. Good high jump, and he got his legs together before he went in the water. Always important to do when you're jumping from any height. And of course, if Kelly does it, I've got to do it. So I'm assuming next you're going to see a video of me jumping off the same little cliff. And that would be me. A leap of joy into the crystal clear, cool, refreshing water. Lots of fun. And I give it a thumbs up. The iguanas were probably watching me, admiring. Look at that old guy jump in the water. This is that same cenote when a tour group arrived, suddenly crowded with people. So we take a 10-minute break on a hammock, just look up at the trees and the sky, hike to another cenote, or wait a few minutes, and before long, they were all gone. We had the cenotes back to ourselves. Or at least no other people. Ourselves, the basilisk, and of course, the iguanas. I think Kelly was checking for crayfish, but I don't think he found any. But he did see these little fish in there. It's a peaceful, relaxing way to spend the day. Though we probably did more swimming than we did hiking. We actually did a bit of hiking. I snorkeled back into this little cavern to see if I could get the perfect selfie with the stalactites. That's probably my best one. But just a cool place. A lot of fun. There's Kelly underwater. There's me underwater. And what a place to swim through. You just don't want to bump your head into any of those. Just cool being the only person back there looking out and have the place to myself. This is back to an open cenote where I saw a number of little fish. And then I saw this blue fish. Spectacular. Bright blue. And then, as it turned, the sunlight hit different. It turned brown. Just real strange, odd to see. We spent a little more time hanging out at some of the cenotes, appreciating the blue water, the vegetation around, the pothos that are giant compared with what we have, the basilisks, and of course the waterfalls. And hope you enjoyed our tour. Have a good day.